We got someone joining us here. All right, so welcome in everybody. I am excited for today's Wednesday, my favorite day of the week, until it's Thursday, and then that becomes my favorite. I actually really do look forward to this part. I enjoy putting these projects together. I do enjoy the research. I enjoy presenting. I really do enjoy this piece. It's a great way for me to keep relearning all the stuff, but also I like the teaching part of it. And it's really great that when you guys show up like in person or live, I should say, it's just a great way to connect. And I know some of you guys are listening to this as a recording. That's great too, because at least you're staying in the game and you're staying connected. So I know you can't all get here all the time. We all have busy lives and jobs and things of that nature. So I will go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. So this week we are talking about, I've entitled this one Road Trip, and basically it's all things travel. At some point, Labor Day is coming up around the corner, so I always usually try to place these around times where I think people will be traveling. We get one last hurrah before we get back to school and back to work and off of the vacations. And usually Labor Day is kind of it. And
Perfect timing for me, Tami, Coach Tami, because we're traveling tomorrow.
oh, this is perfect, perfect, perfect. Where are you going?
Oh, just Northern California.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
live in South Cal. Yeah,
Where do you live?
in South Cal.
Oh, so you're just heading north. Okay,
Yeah.
I grew up in Southern California. I grew up
Okay.
in the San Fernando Valley, and then as an adult lived in Santa Clarita for 20 years or
Mm.
so.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Nice.
awesome. Well, good. This is going to be a perfect timing. Exactly. All right. So what we are going to do today, I got some shout outs, some welcomes, and some funnies. We will talk about what to do before you go, what to do when you get to your destination, while you're there, what to do while you're there, portion control and dining out. We'll talk about fitness on the road, finding balance while you're traveling. And then, of course, there's always time for Q&A. So I found some funny memes that I thought were appropriate that were in relation to travel. But this one, I mean, I'm kind of old. And I started traveling my first time on an airplane by myself. I was 4 years old. So I have been traveling for 50 years, over 50 years. So this is just kind of funny to me because especially after COVID and everything else, it was just, now it's like you sit there, don't move, don't say anything, don't cause any trouble. The airports are terrible for food, over all of that. But anyway, so I do have some shout outs. Nicole is down 3 pounds in her very first week. So kudos to you, Nicole. Sandy has been coming in really consistent, 2 to 3 pounds down every week. And if anybody has medical obstacles, this woman has them. I mean, it's not just one or two or three or four. She's got a lot of things going on, and she's suiting up and she's showing up. So Sandy, I'm super over the moon proud of you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Chris is down 15 pounds and she's still going. She's not done yet. Carmen's down 10 pounds and Daya's down 13 pounds in her first month. So kudos to you. It's all ladies this time. If I didn't bring up your name, don't worry. There's a lot of you. At the moment, I just checked. I have exactly 100 clients. So I've got a lot of people doing a great job. So hang in there. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing up. I do want to welcome in Gina, Deborah, Kathy, Lori, Duff, Joan, Teresa, Cindy, Jamie, Carol, Kirsten, Isabel, Kelly, Stephen, Robin, and Elisa. So welcome in, everybody. All right, so let's dive right in. So we all know when we're going to go on the road, usually. unless somebody kidnaps us in the middle of the night, says you're going. Typically, we know weeks or months or sometimes even a year in advance. So one of the things that we can do in advance, like these little Mario pitted olives, can't always find them instantly when you're ready to go on a trip. So that might be something you can go on Amazon or go on Walmart.com or the store that you target, maybe, I don't know. Different packaged travel things like this. There's pitted olives, there's artichoke hearts. Trader Joe's has the artichoke hearts I saw. So you can order packets of nuts, packets of different to-go things, travel food, but getting those ordered in advance. Amazon comes typically overnight or within 2 or 3 days, depending on where you live. So this is just something that you can do in advance. You can also prep some foods, make some snacks available, especially for your road trips. Airports are a little bit more challenging sometimes. You're allowed to bring all the food you want, unless you're going overseas and they have to check for certain fruits and certain things that are not allowed. But just getting through an airport with food is easy. It's the liquids that they don't. It's the liquids that they don't like. So preparing foods like things like protein balls, where I make those with the protein powder and a nut butter, maybe a little agave. There's lots of recipes on Google. Just Google paleo protein balls. Maybe some roll-ups or some wraps like romaine romaine snacks where you put your turkey or your egg salad or your tuna salad in a wrap and just have those handy, easy peasy. So those kinds of things. There's a lot of different snacks that we can prepare. Hard-boiled eggs is a good, healthy, easy snack to bring. Those you can do in advance. Getting your shopping done, some nuts, some fruits. If nuts come back after day 30, fruit comes back after about 3 weeks or so, depending on your gut. But you and I will talk about that one-on-one when we're deciding whether to bring fruit back or not. The lettuce wraps, salad on a stick. One of my clients was talking about that. She went to a festival and all this food was all on a stick, and most of it was not good or healthy. But she did share they also did have a salad on a stick. So if you think about that, you could put some lettuce, you could put some cubed chicken, you could put some cherry tomatoes, you could put a sliced cucumber, you can put, like a sliced piece of carrot, different radishes, perhaps, whatever you particularly like in your salad. And then if you put them on like a disposable skewer, like one of those toothpicks, those wooden ones, you can throw it away. You don't have to worry about trying to bring it home and wash it. But that's something you can eat in the car, one piece at a time. Dang coconut chips, fresh berries, protein bars. Dr. Infantino does like the Dang bars, the Epic bars, and the Kirkland brand, which you can get at Costco. Also, sometimes I will do like a chicken salad or an egg salad or a tuna salad on either a celery stick or a cucumber. And those I can pick up and eat while I'm on the road. Those might not travel through an airport as well, but that's good for the car. Bringing your protein powder, just having that handy. You can get like a disposable water bottle, like one of those regular 16-ounce water bottles, and then have it dry, throw in your protein powder. And then when you get to the airport, just go to like a Starbucks or something and have them fill it up with cold water. And then you shake it up. Now you have your protein drink. Also, you can put your protein powder in baggies. Just put 2 scoops per baggie. So you have single servings per baggie. That makes it easy. And that travels pretty well as well. So those are some things you can kind of prep in advance. Get that stuff, already done in your little Tupperwares, ready to go so that it's easy peasy. Or turkey jerky. I don't know if I mentioned that one, but you want to make sure any jerky that you get turkey jerky or otherwise. They all have added sugars unless it says sugar-free or no sugar added. So look for no sugar added if you're doing that. Another thing you can do in advance is go to Google and research, your Airbnb or your hotel, or if you're staying at your Aunt Susie's house or wherever you're staying, get the address and Google the restaurants nearby if you're planning to eat out, or maybe the restaurants within the resort or within that hotel. But I would recommend you find something walking distance so that you can get some extra steps in. When you walk through the city, you're going to see it in a whole different vantage point than you would driving. So if you can find a restaurant that's 2 blocks away and it's a safe enough neighborhood to be walking, do the research and Google that and find those in advance. Also, another advantage to that is you can, almost all of them have their menus online. So to take the stress out of, oh my gosh, how am I going to stay on the course? How am I going to stay on the program? I'm going to a restaurant. How do I eat out? If you look at it in advance and you see they have some of your favorite things, oh, they have the salmon, they have grilled chicken, they have a nice grilled chicken salad, they have lobster, they have grilled scallops, whatever things that you like, so that you can first of all, you'll enjoy it more than once because you get to kind of anticipate and get excited about this meal you're about to have next week or tomorrow or whenever that is. But that way you take the stress out of it. You know what you're going to order in advance. Another advantage to that is also when you get to these restaurants, a lot of these nice restaurants, they have specials. And sometimes the specials are not in alignment with our program. So rather than getting there and not having any idea what you're going to order, and then they go, oh, well, we've got these, deep fried crab cakes. And oh my gosh, that sounds so good. If you're already excited about you're going to choose the lobster or the scallops, you already know that you're already excited about that. It's easier to stick with your plan and stay the course and stay on your program. So that's just another way to help yourself, set yourself up for a win. Another thing you can do too is find a grocery store, also if possible within walking distance to your Airbnb or your hotel or whatever. That way you can fill up, your fridge, your mini fridge, find out, do some research of your hotel. If they have a mini fridge, do they have a microwave? Do they have utensils? Most Airbnbs do, but some hotels do, some hotels don't. But if they have a way for you to warm things up and make a salad and keep, some stuff cool, you can even go to these grocery stores and buy pre-made hard-boiled eggs, buy bags of salad, buy, those packets of tuna, those sorts of things. But getting that researched in advance, you're going to know what you have available. And if it's within driving distance, at least you know where it is. So you know to stop there first. That way you set yourself up for that win. And then, yeah, you'd want to, in advance before you go, find out from your hotel what is available. Find out from your Airbnb, do you have utensils? Do you provide spices? Do you have plates and silverware? What do you guys have? Some hotels have that stuff, some don't, and some will let you request it. And by all means, save yourself a few bucks, save yourself some stress, save yourself a lot of extra calories and money, and stock up your little mini fridge with some snacks. So that way, at least one of the meals you can eat in and not have to spend out to dinner, out to lunch, out to breakfast. And you'll save a few bucks that way too. So that's what you can do before you go. All right, so number 2, at the airport. So what can we do at the airport? I already kind of gave away the snacks, but excuse me, like I said, the protein bars, the Epic, the Dang and the Kirkland, the nut packets. Like I said, you can get those in advance. You can make your own trail mix. If you're past day 30, you can have nuts and seeds, preferably macadamia or walnut. But in a pinch, when you're traveling, nuts are so super convenient. Be mindful, they're calorie dense. So if you tend to go over on your calories, put these in portions. A 1/4 cup is a serving of nuts. So be mindful of that, but put them in different baggies, and that way you know, okay, I've had my one serving, and that'll help keep you on track as well. Cutting up veggies in advance, and then you can take those to the airport. These baby carrots, I mean, last time I went to go visit my son in Nashville, I bought a bag of baby carrots, put them in my carry-on, and I ate some on the plane, but then I kind of forgot about them. And 2 or 3 days later, I found them in my bag, and they were still good. They were still good. A lot of these veggies do not need refrigeration. So if you were to cut up broccoli or celery or bell peppers, they'll last a pretty good while. So those are convenient, and you're not going to get a lot of veggies through an airport anyway. But those are all good for a driving trip as well. And you can put up your cut up veggies and call it a salad on a stick. I just thought that salad on a stick was brilliant. Your sugar-free turkey jerky. Bring a refillable water bottle just to make sure, actually my hydro flask, I know it's a 32 ounce, so it's easier for me to track my water. This way, while on the road, you filled it up twice. I know I've had 64 ounces, so at least it helps me be able to track. So bring that. If you have to go through the airport, you have to bring it empty, which you're allowed to do. They'll make you dump it if it's full, but it'll come in handy, to maintain tracking your water. Hard-boiled eggs do last a bit, not days without refrigeration, but plenty of hours. And then your olive packets, your any kind of packets, your tuna packets, any of those things. Bring a plastic fork, just tear open those tuna packets. They come in flavors too. So that way you don't have to start mixing them with mayonnaise. You're going to eat it right out of the packet. Oh, guess I had that one on there. Awesome. All right. So what do we do when we get there? All right. So you're going to hit that grocery store, and then, check out your surrounding restaurants. Also set up your excursions if there's something that you can walk to, or a walking tour of things. See if you can't switch out a bus tour for a walking tour. That might help you get more of your steps in. Yeah, so if your hotel doesn't have a fridge or a microwave, you can ask them to see if they will put that in. A lot of them will do it. There's a lot of things you can ask them. You can ask them for an iron, you can ask them for a toothbrush, but you can also ask them sometimes for a fridge and sometimes for a microwave. So that's something that you can do when they get there. Another thing you can do when you get there is see if they don't have a farmer's market in the area. Now, this is not going to be as common in like a big city, big giant metropolitan city. But if there are farmers markets and you do have a fridge and you do have a microwave and some utensils, you really can stock up on local, organic. You'll get to talk to the locals. So you're getting a piece of the culture while you're there. You're getting some steps in. You're getting hopefully some sunshine, depending on the weather and where you go. But you can also talk to the locals about all kinds of things and learn more about the culture. And you can get stuff that is local, so you know it's grown right and organic, and again, it's local. So that's a fun, cool thing that you can do if you have the time. If you are going to a grocery store, we're going to stock your refrigerator at your hotel room. Some ideas for what you can pick up is a bag of greens, your tuna and salmon packets. Those are easy peasy proteins. Pre-cut veggies, you can buy those already pre-cut. A lot of grocery stores have those rotisserie chickens. That makes it real easy to have a ready-made, good quality protein right there in your room. Come in and go to the pool, come back in there and have some nice lunch with some salad. You're good to go. You're stayed compliant and you save a boatload of money. You can buy at Costco. You can bring these in advance, or if you can find them at a grocery store nearby your hotel, those pre-cooked bowls of brown rice. And just a heads up, guys, Those pre-cooked bowls are 3 servings. Now, if you look at the nutrition label, it'll tell you it's 1, but it also tells you it's over 300 calories. I know 1 serving of brown rice is 108 calories. So if it's over 300 calories, it's 3 servings. So, we're staying in half a cup. So just be mindful of that. You can usually buy in most grocery stores pre-cooked hard-boiled eggs. It's still going to be cheaper than going out to breakfast and dropping $20 for an omelet when you can have some hard-boiled eggs. Buying some fresh fruits and having some nuts right there in your hotel room it'll save you some money. It'll help keep your stress levels down because you have some good choices handy. This is basically meal prepping without prepping anything. You're just purchasing stuff that's already cut up, easy peasy to open, easy or ready-made chicken, whatever the case may be. But you're setting yourself up for a win. All right, so when you are dining out, I don't expect anybody to bring your scale with you. I do recommend you do measure your meats and your foods, your rice and all of that, your veggies, in a normal at-home situation. So when you're filling out your journal pages, instead of saying I had chicken and rice, if you write to me I had 4 ounces of chicken and a half a cup of brown rice, that helps me know that we're doing our right portions and everybody's getting enough protein and not too much carbs and that you are on track. That helps me help you guys. So the more details you can give me. That said, I don't expect you to bring your scale and your measuring cups on your vacation or on your business trip. So you always have your hands with you. So these are some tools you can use. Your fist is 1 cup. So if you're trying to get a cup of veggies, I always recommend for vegetables, you want to get 2 cups when possible. I would prefer a minimum is 3 ounces of your protein for your palm. So if it's a little bigger than your palm, it's going to be about 4 ounces. That's going to make me happy. It's going to make me feel good that you're getting enough protein. But when you're looking at your plate from the restaurant and it looks about the size of your palm or a little bigger, you kind of know where you're at if you're trying to guesstimate your calories, if you're still actually tracking your foods. We're not doing cheese at the moment, but if you were, a finger is 1 ounce. And this one is, the example is 2 cups, 2 cupped palms is 2/3 cups of rice. 2/3 cup is too much in one sitting. So I would say just stick with 1 cupped palm. A tablespoon of fat like butter, size of your thumb, and then the tip of your finger is like a teaspoon of oil, as long as it's that same thickness. So hopefully that's helpful. If anybody wants to take a screenshot of this before I change screens, you can. All right, I'm going to switch. All right, so dining out. And I expect we're all going to dine out, especially if you're on vacation. That's often the highlight of the day is the restaurant that we're going to head out to. So here's some tips and tricks and tools that you can use for that. So again, doing your research ahead of time, knowing what's on that menu and kind of making your decision ahead of time so that it's easier to stick with it because you're already excited about the thing you're going to get. Plus, dining out isn't cheap. So with all the money you're going to spend, it's almost like you get to live it over and over and over again before you even get there. So all that anticipation is for me, it's very, very enjoyable. Getting excited about that restaurant and that hotel and that vacation and that excursion. And that we do that when I sign up for a trip, I'm looking at all the restaurants, I'm looking at all the excursions and things that we can go do and activities and what we can do on the grounds. But doing that ahead of time helps get you excited and you get to kind of relive it or live it over and over again. So most restaurants will have some kind of starch and they usually pile it on, whether it's pasta, rice, potatoes, French fries, mashed potatoes. whatever, baked potato. I would say your safer bet would be to ask for extra vegetables. It just keeps you a little bit, lowers the calories, and they typically do pile the biggest amount of the carbs on there. And so for sure we're going to overeat if we let them decide how much is going to go on that plate. If it's a vegetable, you can overeat all the vegetables you want and not overeat too many calories. So it's just a safer way to really enjoy your food and not worry about, oh my gosh, I have no idea how many calories are on this plate. Here's another tip that I was not so fond of. Last time I did this, I went up to Prescott with my girlfriend, and she suggested that we split a dinner, and I wanted my whole dinner by myself. I just, I just kind of wanted my own dinner, but I thought, all right, let's do that. It'll save a couple bucks. And one thing you can do is you can order maybe an extra side salad. So we both got a side salad, and then they brought us the one dinner, and then we split the dinner. There was plenty of food. There was plenty of vegetables for the both of us. In this case, in this restaurant, there was plenty of chicken on the plate. And it was just plenty of food. And really, on vacation, I mean, half the reason I liked restaurants is I love the to-go box because I get to enjoy it all the next day. But if I'm on vacation, I'm going out sightseeing. I'm going out to do things. I'm going out to go on the day trip. I'm going out snorkeling. I'm going to do all these things. I don't want to have to run back to my hotel with my to-go box. I want to go do the things. So this way, if I split a dinner or lunch or breakfast, I don't have to go back to my hotel. I don't need a leftover box. I've just saved half the money and I'm eating fewer calories and I'm satisfied. So that's a real good tip you can try, and it'll save you some money. And yeah, so when you're looking at the menu, looking at what's on that dish, what's in that salad. So if there's it's a salad, but there's beans in that salad, or there's crispy wonton skins in that salad, we know those are not going to be clean proteins or veggies. So we would either ask for those to be eliminated or order something else. So just getting the grilled chicken or the salmon or the lobster or whatever, the protein, the fish or the turkey, whatever, and then the vegetables that come with it. The fat tends to show up because typically the proteins and the veggies are smothered in butter and or other oils, which you can ask the waiter, they'll tell you. And if they don't know, the chef will know. If you want to know. So don't be afraid to ask. And the waiter doesn't always know. Just tell them, well, then go ask the chef because the chef does know. All right. So tip number 5, moving your body, fitness on the road. So number 1, guys, we don't have to go spend an hour in the gym. If you found out that your hotel does have a wonderful, workout facility, that's fabulous. And that's something you can find out in advance. Do they have yoga classes? Do they have exercise classes? Do they have stretch classes? Do they have water aerobics? A lot of them do. And if you did your homework in the beginning, you'll find out what times they are and you'll sign up for whichever ones sound good to you. But if it's just you trying to figure it out, you don't have to go spend an hour in the gym. You're just trying to stay in shape. You're not trying to get in shape. So just keep moving your body. Take the walking trips when you can. Get in the gym if you can. Lift some weights if you can. Take the class if you can. But you can also in your hotel room or Airbnb, you can open up YouTube from your phone or the TV. And there's so many exercise workouts that you can do with zero equipment. So you can put that in there. Equipment, exercise with no equipment in YouTube. And there's hundreds of exercises that you can copy and follow along with. You could bring resistance bands. They don't weigh hardly anything. They don't take up any room. And then again, you can go to YouTube and find out some good exercises, or you can use the exercises that we offer in Module 5. And you can just bring your resistance bands with you. Again, they don't take up much room and they don't weigh anything in your suitcase. So those are a real good travel. As an in-home personal trainer, I used to bring all this equipment to people's houses, but these resistance bands those were a staple for me, absolute staple. Get outside and walk and explore. If you're, like I said, if you want to see the city, you could take a bus tour. I mean, you're going to cover more ground on the bus. You'll get to see different cities, but walk around your hotel and your area that you're staying or your Airbnb and really explore by foot, or find out in advance if your hotel does rent bicycles or those pedal, like those golf carts that you pedal or something like that. There's so many of those things around, and you'll really get a better view of your city, but you're getting your steps in. If you can try to track your heart rate while you're doing your walking around, if you have like one of these smartwatches, you can track your walking and see what your heart rate is. 180 minus your age is where you want your heart rate to be, typically for fat burning. But that's just another thing that you can do while you're just enjoying these beautiful sights. If you're in like Vegas and you're walking the strip, it's just nothing like it versus driving down the street. When you're up close and personal, it's just a great thing to do by foot. Skipping the bus tour, getting on foot or on a bike or something where you're moving or pedaling, that would be better. A lot of hotels or resorts, they rent bikes, kayaks, ATVs, paddle boats, or else there's excursions that you can sign up for. And doing these active things, first of all, that's the fun. That's why we get in shape, so that we can do these active lifestyle types of things. And you're outside, you're enjoying the water, you're enjoying the lake, you're enjoying the ocean, you're enjoying the scenery, you're getting the fresh air, you're getting your vitamin D, and you're getting some movement. These ATVs down here, this left corner, takes a lot of muscle to work those. And they're a blast. They're an absolute blast. So I know a lot of people have some physical limitations, but whatever you can do, you can certainly get into the pool. So use the pool. I mean, so many of us, and I've been guilty of it, where you get your suit on and you got your hat and you got your sunglasses and you got your book and you're all set and ready to go. And we go by the pool, but we don't go in the pool. We leave that for the kids. Get in that pool and move around. The resistance in that water is very powerful, and you burn a lot of extra calories, and you're getting that resistance. So just walking back and forth, doing push-ups, there's just a million things you can do. Again, you can go back to YouTube and put in water exercises and write a few of those down and do some of those in the pool when you get down by your pool. So most all hotels have a pool. So take advantage of it. Go in it. Don't just sit next to it. Oh, this is a good one too. Skipping the elevator. Take the stairs. Take the long way. And I'm thinking of a cruise ship. There are so many ups and downs, and you could take the elevator literally all day, but you really can track a lot of extra steps if you take the elevator instead, or if you take the stairs instead of the elevator, especially on a cruise. All right, finding balance. Being very mindful to not drink your calories. And if you are going to have alcohol, obviously we ask you to withhold that for the first 12 weeks, because it does hurt the bacteria in the gut, and we're trying to clear the gut, but it is temporary. So I know if you want to go on vacation, this is part of the fun for a lot of people. But you can have yourself a system. One thing you can do is set yourself a limit. Another thing you can do as far as a system is promise yourself that you'll drink a full glass of water in between your drinks. And that way you continue to hydrate. And obviously your water is 0 calories. So you won't be drinking as many calories if you truly are 1 for 1, water, cocktail, water, cocktail. And number 2, you'll feel better. Because if you're dehydrated, that's what gives you that headache. That's when you don't feel good. And also watching what you're mixing with your alcohol. So booze, like a shot of tequila or vodka. Those white liquors are better, recommended, because they're lower. There's no carbs. Mixing those with something like a club soda. You can squeeze a little lemon or lime in it, for a little essence, for a little flavor. You couldn't put any fruit in it really, as long as you're not having fruit juice. It really doesn't add calories. It adds an essence. I put sometimes an orange wedge in mine. But just being mindful of that. The Mai Tais and the daiquiris and all those blended drinks and the Kahlua drinks, the margaritas, all of that stuff is a boatload of sugar. Some of these are the pina coladas, some of these are 500 calories each, and you haven't even had lunch yet. Or, you haven't even eaten and you're already 500 in. So understand, one shot of booze is about 100 calories. But when you add the creams and the sugars and the other mixes, you're really adding calories, 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 calories. So be really mindful of that. Taking time to rest and breathe and meditate and prayer time. You might be in a work trip, so that this might not, you know, lend itself. You may not have time if you're on a work schedule. However, if this is truly a vacation, it is just that. It's a vacation. So take some time to rest, take some time to do some breath exercises, take some time to sit in front of that lake or that ocean or that pool or that body of water, whatever it is, a river, a stream, and really enjoy nature and practice your breathing, practice your meditation, take your time for your prayer, and really becoming centered so that we can actually calm ourselves down, lower our blood pressure, which is why we're on vacation in the first place, to get away from the rat race and all the high stress stuff that we normally do every day. Deadlines and kids and aging parents and bills and, all the things. This is why we're on vacation. So take time, give yourself the grace to give yourself that. Another helpful tip, and I got this one from my mom, and she is the queen of journaling, and she's a very good gratitude journal person. But if you recap at the end of every day, like how your day went, and talk about the restaurant or that tour you went on, or falling in the water. And remember, I went to Cancun with my mom, and we were on one of those lazy rivers, and she did have a drink in her hand, and she was trying to get on the inner tube, and she fell, and of course she spilled her drink everywhere, and the three of us we were all just laughing. And so stuff like that, when it makes it into your journal at the end of the day, 3 weeks from now, when you get back from your trip and you relive and you reread your journal pages, you literally get to relive those moments in, time when you're falling off your inner tube and into the water, spilling your drink everywhere, and having those moments of laughter and joy with your friends or your family. And it's just a great way to remember what you did, and also your gratitudes, being grateful. It's another way to calm your soul. It's another way to attract more things to be grateful for. And it's another way to lower your blood pressure and your breath even. So it has health benefits, but it's good overall. You spend a lot of money on these vacations. You might as well be able to remember them, enjoy them. Treating yourself to a massage or a facial is another idea, because so much of our focus is often around the restaurants. So, that the big highlight of the day is this restaurant and that restaurant, and what's for dinner and what's for lunch and all the things. If you can fill your day with other things to look forward to that don't have to do with eating, that's a good thing. And a massage or a facial is physically healthy for your body and for your mind and for your spirit and for your soul. So treating yourself to that, signing up for other excursions, that, maybe you learn some history of that city. Maybe you learn or take some hikes or some nature trails. Those are all going to be soothing for your soul as well. And another thing, stretch is very, very underrated. We're going to be talking about exercise modalities next week, but stretch is underrated and you can do that anywhere. So if you're on a beach, at the ocean, at the lake, especially if we're overlooking some kind of nature, stretching gets rid of the stress from your physical body. So you're doing your physical body a favor, but it's helping release the stress from your body. Your stress hormone is cortisol, which is on an all-time high a lot of the times with bills. Like I said, bills and life brings us a lot of stress. Stuff's going on. Deadlines are due. So when we go on a vacation, take time to stretch, we literally can release some of that from your body. Oh, I guess I am done. Does anybody have any questions or comments or input? It's been very quiet. Nobody asked a question the whole time. Looks like someone raised their hand. Laura? Go ahead and unmute.
Sorry. Hi. I don't know if you could see me or not, but my husband and I haven't been on, I've been watching, but haven't been on the trainings. But today I had a cancellation, so I was able to come on. But my husband and I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm telling you, the only place for eating and stuff that they had was inside the dome, and then or going to lots of restaurants and stuff. And we were booked solid from back to back to back to back on all kinds of workshops that we were going to for our business. So we didn't have time necessarily to, go and get all the stuff that we needed the way that we would have to if we were just there, if we didn't prepare for it. So we did all of the prepping that you said to do. We cut up, I cut up celery and carrots and onions and pre-packaged them all into bags so that when we were there, and then we did tuna in little baggies, and we just put the veggies in there. So all we had to do was add the mayonnaise. And we baked like chicken drumsticks to take with us. We weren't doing the nuts. So we actually were able to order out from for the store because we didn't have a vehicle to get there. And so we made a list of everything that we would need prior to going. We ordered from the store. We brought our shake mix with water and did it that way. And then we ordered from the store, and they delivered directly to the restaurant to the hotel for us. So it was amazing.
Oh,
But we
that's
did.
a great idea. I never thought of that's a great idea.
And so that worked perfectly. And we were eating really well, and we were comfortable the whole time. And I'm to all of our friends that went, they were eating all this crap the whole time. They were spending a ton of money. Nobody felt good because of the way that they were eating, and we felt fabulous, and we were very well fed. We brought protein bars with us, and it was amazing. We're like, okay, this is the way we'll do it from now on. But how we ended up getting our food there was we packaged it all up into a suitcase that we shipped, that went down below. So it wasn't one of our carry-ons. And then so that came on, and we cooled it. We put all kinds of ice packs and everything in it. So it was perfectly cool when we got there. We had hard-boiled eggs. We just had the protein. We had everything that we possibly could use and need.
I do
and we
remember you going on that trip, and I was so impressed because you did go to a lot of effort. You really, really did, and I was like impressed. I was kind of surprised. Like a lot of people won't go to that effort, but you did, and it paid off.
Yeah, and I do have a question because the first time I did the detox, I lost weight on that detox. The second time I did the detox, and I've been following the plan just the way I'm supposed to with all the eating, the waters, the everything. The second detox, I gained 3 pounds. Now I remember reading that happens sometimes. It took 3 weeks for the 3 pounds to come off. Is that normal?
And that far along in the game, maybe, because your body was probably starting to adapt. Whereas in the first cleanse, you probably had a lot of sludge and old cells, all stuff that may have been there for years. and you got rid of that the first round, it wasn't there the second round. But the reason why people gain weight during the cleanse or can gain weight during the cleanse is because you're drinking the maple. There's maple in here, which is a carbohydrate. Carbohydrates tell the body to store water. So you gain water weight. 3 weeks is kind of a long time for it to stick with you. However, if you're doing kind of the same thing over and over again, the body starts to adapt and no change will be made. So at that point, we got to either shift your exercise or shift your calories or calorie cycle or do something different.
So for calorie cycling, would I do like 1,600 calories, like for maybe 2 or 3 days and then drop down to the 1,200?
No, well, kind of like do a low, like 1,100 and then a 16 and then a 13, like mix it up.
Okay.
Because so many people, they get on their routines and they're 1,100 every day. It's between 11 and 1,200, which is, you should be rewarded for that kind of beautiful consistency.
Your body gets
adapts. So if we surprise it, and it took me a long time to learn to believe that, because I just, it didn't make sense. But you surprise it. Like I would go, like when I was in my weight loss journey and I was doing what I learned how to do. I finally learned, this was the mental shift for me. I learned how to eat to lose weight, not to starve to lose weight. So here I was eating. And then I would go to a party in the middle of all this. And it was during the summer and it was potluck. And I just went nuts and I ate everything in front of me. And then I went right back to super, super, super clean. And then 2 weeks later, I'd go to another party and go nuts. Now I can't promote you guys going nuts because we're healing the guts. We really don't want to get any of those bad things. However, if you did a calorie surge and good stuff, but a calorie surge, and then come back down, and then a couple of calorie surges in that week, and then you switch up your exercise, maybe lift a little heavier, maybe add a fourth or fifth exercise for that muscle group, or add more sets or more repetitions or something different. Getting out of the yoga class and going into the spin class, whatever different is for you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes, I need to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I will definitely tweak just a little. But yeah, I've lost 20 pounds and I'm like, we just hit, I think we're on 61 days or 62 days. And it's 20 pounds down. And I'm like, I've never been able to lose. I have not lost in so many years. So, I mean, that's huge for me.
That's wonderful. That's so wonderful.
20 pounds. I mean, like when you do it, it's like, that's 10 pounds a month. That's a lot.
That's great. It is so,
but it is,
that's ambitious. That's very ambitious. So that's great.
Yeah. And then I think Scott's at like 35 now or 36 in the 2 months. So
that's wonderful. Lois, I think you had your hand up.
Yeah, I did. I raised my hand. I'm not used to using my iPad for this. Hi. I just wanted to tell you, I took your advice for checking places ahead of time because I'm going to a concert on Saturday and it's at a stadium. So I'm like, okay, what can I eat in a stadium? Because that'll be my first day off of my first detox. So I'm like, I have to find vegetables. Yeah, that's it. I'll be able to eat vegetables. So I had to search and they do have like a salad place, a special salad place, but it's like not in every area. So you really have to know ahead of time where you can look and find that. Otherwise, everything else in that place is just fast food. But,
oh my gosh. I'm so glad you shared that. I really appreciate it because I didn't even think about like concerts and stuff like what you're talking about. People go and they really don't think about it. And they get in there and then they realize, oh my God, it's only hot dogs and pizza. Like, well, so if we're cognizant and conscious of like, let me check, maybe I better eat before I walk into that place, go an hour early, go to a restaurant that does accommodate you. And then walk in to watch your concert or whatever it is that you're going to go see.
I put that other comment on your other video that you were doing about, travel eating, whatever. And my first thought was like, what can I take that's going to satisfy me after I haven't had any food for 5 days. And I put in there that, what did you think if I brought an avocado and like cauliflower, raw cauliflower, and I split my avocado open and I scoop it like I
Yeah.
have like a dip, and this way I'll feel like I have concert food, like I get to dip into something. So that was my idea there. And then the seaweed chips, they're okay for that day after.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, because that
Recommended,
always feels like
sure.
a nice snacky food to me, like instead of
Yes,
chips.
by the way, for anybody who has thyroid issues, that's really a good promoter of healthy thyroid.
Okay, that's good. Well, that's what I wanted to add. Anyway, that, and I did also check the Cancun resort to see, but I'm sure that every place has salads and fish and stuff like that. So
Oh,
like by that time,
I've been to a couple of Cancun resorts and they were all inclusive. So those
yeah,
are
this is
dangerous. Cruises and all inclusive resorts are very dangerous for somebody who's trying to do this program. I just would not recommend it. I know it's already, you already signed up for it, but
yeah. No, I'm just thinking that
it's just
that
really a lot of temptation handed right to you.
I have to say, I am surprised at how seamless and easy this transition has been for me. Like, I think I've been making little alterations like all along this year, and just I floated right on into this, and I haven't had any like cravings. I sat in front of a table full of pastries today because my neighbors invited me over for coffee, and I'm like, nope, sorry, I'm just sipping my lemonade. But no, it's not like my mouth is watering. I always had trouble like going to bed at night without a snack. Like I need a snack. I haven't wanted a snack once. So I'm kind of
Wow.
amazed, but pleased. It's just so much easier than, I mean, I would have anticipated. And like I said it in the beginning, I was so looking forward to this part of it, to this cleanse. I'm like, oh, my body needed it. And TMI, you guys have all gone through this, right? So I can go this, what, day 2, right? I did 2 days of my cleanse, and day 3, I still went to the bathroom this morning, and I was like, well, obviously there's still something in my gut if I'm still going to the bathroom on day 3.
Some people will
So-
have them all the way through, and some people do stop after day 2, 3, or 4, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see how
Either
much
way
sludge
can
is in
be
my
normal,
system.
but so if you stop at day 3 or 4 and you stopped having a bowel movement, you're not constipated. You're done.
Just
Your
nothing
body's
to move
eliminated.
out.
But some people will go full on all 5 days, even though they haven't eaten for 5 days. So that's a good sign too, because you're getting that stuff out, and and there's, again, TMI, like you said, there's color changes, there's odor changes. That's good if it's not normal, because that's the bad stuff getting the heck out.
All right, well, that's what I wanted to say.
I
Shut my-
also, Dr. Infantino had suggested to both my husband and I to do sauteed or softer vegetables coming off of the cleanse. And then, and we noticed that was a good idea, because he tried doing a raw salad or a salad or something, and it did not do well with his system when he was just coming off the 5-day one.
Yeah, not on the coming out, because your stomach
Yeah.
hasn't food for 5 days, so it needs something that's mushy and soft and doesn't have to break it down
Yep.
too much. A hard piece of carrot or salad it's just too hard. You're going to get
Broccoli, cauliflower, that's going to hurt your tummy. So we ended up doing like we sauteed vegetables, and then we made some vegetable soup that we blended, and we just sipped the blended soup through the day. That one worked really well. And then also because if you get hungry, like especially going into it, we found that the eggplant with the tomato sauce was really good. We liked that one.
Very good.
So this diet is closest to paleo, correct?
Yeah, so if you're looking for snacks for your road trip, or for not a road trip, for anything, if you put paleo, the reason I like paleo is because they don't do legumes, they don't do dairy, and they don't do gluten. So it's because if it's keto, everything has cheese in it. Everything's just, and they get these wonderful, crispy, cheesy wraps, and they all sound really good, made with cottage cheese and fried cheese. And it's, they're calorically dense, but it's still dairy, still cheese, which is likely to jack up your gut.
Okay.
So the paleo won't be asking for breadcrumbs in the recipe. It won't be asking for any kind of cheese. It won't be asking for legumes. So at least it'll be somewhat compliant. It won't ask for any sugars. It might say monk fruit or stevia or something, but it won't, or agave maybe, but it won't ask for sugar. So
Okay.
that it is the most compliant with what we're doing.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's another chat. Let's see. Oh, someone had to leave. That's fine. Yeah, if you guys get on here and it's going too long and you got to get back to work, don't feel like you're being rude. If you have to go, you have to go. I'm just grateful you showed up in the first place. And I mean that. Like, it's more important that you get here, even if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes. If you catch a nugget or two and then you have to go off to work again, at least you caught a nugget. So stay as long as you can, but you're welcome to stay for the whole thing. With that being said, does anybody have any other questions before
Yes. I had one more question. So, when you do these, because I listened to the replay from another one, it was similar to this. When you do them throughout a week, are they all going to be relatively the same?
That depends. So like the topic was road trip this week. So I'm just kind of, I went a little deeper with more different snacks the other day than I did today. So for the best example would be next week, I'm going to talk about exercise. So the Wednesday, I have a whole PowerPoint. I'll talk about stretch. I'll talk about high intensity. I'll talk about strength training. I'll talk about cardio and what the benefits of each of those are and which is going to be best for weight loss, which is best for this, that, and the other thing. So for example, on Monday, that week, I might talk about just cardio, but I'll go deeper, dive down that rabbit hole. But when I get to Wednesday, I'll talk about cardio, but not as deep dive. Does that make sense? So I'll get
Yeah,
all
right.
parts.
So you might highlight some parts on one day and do a general overview on another day.
The
Okay.
Wednesday's the general one, but it's covering all the parts. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to take one piece of whatever that topic is and go down.
Okay.
So you'll get a deeper, and it's just, things I say things different. I remember to say something at least the last time.
Yeah, I just hate when I miss them. I mean, because I'm just kind of getting the hang of this now, when
Yeah.
to pay attention and all right.
Yeah.
And how often do you do the one-on-ones? You actually did you say you said you want to talk to me about something and I can't remember what it was. But my sleep maybe. Because I said I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to look at my notes.
Yeah, I'd have to look at
Yeah,
what
technically you get 3 one-on-one coachings. But if you've already used all 3 and you really are struggling, you really want to book another one, book a 4th one.
So you get the 3 when at whatever intervals you decide to do them?
Yeah, and just go to
Yeah, I did my first one, so I know basically what to do.
So just
okay.
make sure you hit the bar that says one-on-one with coach.
Right.
Just open up the coachtami.drinfantino.com and you start looking at the calendar. It defaults to an onboarding. And then you'll end up on a group call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I know.
I just have one more question. What was the name of the cutter that you use to cut up all your vegetables and freeze your stuff?
Mandolin, a kitchen, but if you put into Amazon, kitchen mandolin, a mandolin chopper for the kitchen, you'll see a boatload of things come up.
Okay.
And I can't tell you that how fabulous that thing, how much time that thing saves me.
Yeah.
Chop all my onions, all my bell peppers, and I usually chop celery like once every 4 to 6 weeks, and I just have bags of that frozen in the freezer. So that starts any recipe. Almost everything starts with onions with me. And then sometimes bell pepper too, and sometimes I have chopped carrots in there. Right now I have chopped broccoli in there just because I had some. But now I can add all those things to whatever I'm cooking. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Mandolin, Mandaline. Something like that.
Doline. Mandolin.
Let's see. Let's see.
Mandolin. It's
Got
a
it.
chopper that
Kitchen mandolin.
your hand goes up
Kitchen
back and forth.
mandolin.
Have you ever heard of a super?
So it's Mandolin.
Oh, no E?
It doesn't show me an E.
No, it's not the
Okay.
instrument.
Oh, this one
That's
has
why.
an E. That one does not. Oh, yeah, some of
Okay.
them, yeah, they do have an E at the end. Oh, maybe it's. Yep, they do have an E at the end.
Yeah, I want to get one of those.
Yeah, especially the one that has, I think this one. Come on. The chopper where it's the little squares, so you can chop. So that way you have finely chopped onions and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you'll see so many choices. They go anywhere from $20 to 100 something.
Okay.
There's one here for $288.
Wow.
And then one right next to it for, you know, $39, $29, $9.97 at Walmart. That one doesn't look like it does much though.
Okay.
So you'll take a look,
Thank you, Tammy.
of course.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
I was trying to ask if anybody's heard of I can't remember the other part of the word. It's a super something. Um, they're like the silicone holders, and you can actually put individual amounts of soup in each one and freeze them so that you have soup blocks. So when you're ready to have your soup, you just pull a block out and out of the
That is
freezer.
a beautiful idea.
Yeah, somebody showed it to me today, and I was like, I've never seen that before. I was so excited about it. And you just reminded me that I was going to Google it and see if they have them on Amazon, and they have them like in
It was
Costco.
you, I think, Lois, it was you. You had that you made extra lemon
Oh,
juice.
yeah.
You were putting the lemon juice in the baggies. So you could get those baggies and do probably the same thing.
Yes, true. But these were really cool. They were like a block of soup. Like, so you just had the blocks put in. But yeah, I also made those the ice pops. I made the ice pops out of my lemon
Yes,
juice.
Dr. Inventino was even impressed with you. No one, I've made popsicles with our shake, with the chocolate shake or the strawberry shake, you know, the little coconut milk, you know, makes it nice and creamy and it's a good treat. But no one has ever made it with the lemonade. So
And
you
I
could
thought-
have just something else to do while you're
Right, and because you're
On the
supposed to sip it
cleanse.
slowly, that's a perfect way to like have it go slow. Is just to suck on an ice pop. But yeah, because I had scooped off all of the extra pulp, and not really even the big pulp. It was like the very fine pulp because I couldn't get it through the straw on the top. So I said, oh, next time I'm going to do it, I'm going to take all this pulp off, and I got like an entire cup of this very fine pulp. So I was like, what do I do with this? I don't want to chuck it. So that's how I thought to make the ice pops.
very cool, very cool.
But I'll send a link to that thing if I find it, just so you get a better idea what it is. I can't remember the other name,
Okay.
the other part of the word.
The,
It's a
the only
super
thing
something.
with the popsicles, I will say that my popsicle mold, it's like flat where you pour in the juice or protein, the stuff, and it's exposed and open to the freezer. Whereas the one you had, you put the stick in it and it has on a lid. So
It
the
can, like,
flat
do this.
ones are exposed to the freezer. They enter the popsicle will taste like the freezer. And so,
Yeah.
yes, like get that one instead.
So
My open one, where it's
we could
all
do this.
exposed, it tastes like the freezer, so I got to get a different.
Let's see if I can do this. I'll show you what it's like. So this has this silicone on the bottom, right? I'm
Oh,
gonna
so they
press it
pop
out.
right out. Nice.
There you
Oh, that's
go.
so cute. I love
Isn't that
that.
cute? I really can't take all the credit because what I thought of this because my son, he was living with me for a little bit recently, and he had some kind of flavored drink he wanted to have in an ice pop, and he used this. I'm like, oh, I haven't used that in years. I didn't know what to do with it, and that's what gave me the idea. So yeah, it's time for me to have this anyway. So
Very cool. Very cool.
oh, it's very
All right, guys.
lemony.
I got to run, but it was been a pleasure. And I really, really, really appreciate all of your input. We got some cool ideas today. Thank you guys for your input and those shares. Those great ideas. So thank you for that. Anything else before I say goodbye?
Thanks so much, Tammy.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.